The Yankees roster is beginning to take shape as spring training is right around the corner, less than 2 weeks away. However, first base still needs to be addressed. In the farm system and on the non-roster invite list for spring training, leaves Mike Ford as another option to come up. Ford can be a very possible option for this season, as he was fighting for a starting job in Seattle just over a season ago. In my previous article, I dabbled on the idea of Luke Voit being the guy at first base for the Yankees in 2019. I also very briefly touched on some possible free agents, all who are in their 30s and have had a lot more experience than those on the Yankees roster. Each of these players are still free agents and haven't found a place to play. Here is a brief description of each of these players, and what they can bring to the Yankees. Lucas Voit, longtime former Mets player, has been a journeyman over the past 3 seasons. Adding another stop, this time back to the state of New York and just on the other end of the subway line, wouldn't be such a bad thing. At the very least, he can add a left-handed bat to a very right-handed lineup. Over his 12-year career, Voit has reached the 30-home run plateau twice, including his career-best season in 2014 where he helped knock in 92 runs. Last season, he spent most of his season in Kansas City before being purchased from the Atlanta Braves at the end of the season. While donning the Royals cap, he was consistent with his career average from the plate at .242 and had 13 home runs with 48 runs batted in. But he struck out an astonishing 95 times in 87 games, and hasn't had a season in which he had more hits than strikeouts since 2011. Defensively, he is much more valuable. He is reliable at first base to make the grab and not cause an unnecessary error. In 4,600 defensive chances at first base in his career, he has only committed 23 errors. That's good for a .995 fielding percentage. He can bring something that the Yankees don't necessarily have right now: experience. Both Luke Voit and Greg Bird have a very limited number of games at first base, and Voit can be a key piece to add for depth. It also keeps someone like DJ LeMahieu at his normal positions of being in the infield. Hanley Ramirez is a very viable option for first base. After being released by Boston last May, of all the players listed in this post, Ramirez shows the most possible upside, but could also cost the biggest contract. With a career batting average .290, the 2006 NL Rookie of the Year has shown consistency for well over a decade. Ramirez has had 8 seasons of 20 or more home runs, including 2 of those having 30 or more. Since coming over to Boston from the National League, his batting average has dipped slightly to .260 over the past 3 seasons. Over the past 3 seasons with Boston, Ramirez had primarily played first base, when he wasn't the designated hitter. In 176 games at first base, he has spent 1,503.1 innings and only committed 4 errors. More from Yanks Go Yard. Another journeyman first baseman, Morrison has played for 4 different teams in 9 seasons in the MLB. Can be a good fit for the Yankees in 2019 at first base, as he is a left-handed bat and he can be a cheap enough contract for an experienced player. After a career year with the Tampa Bay Rays in 2017, Morrison had an awful 2018 season. His batting average dropped by 60 points, and after nearing 40 home runs the year before, he failed to hit more than 15. The possibility is there for Morrison to not have a one-hit wonder season, but it could be just that. On the bag, he has seen 4,804 innings of play. His fielding percentage of .996 is good enough to be 10th best among active first basemen. In 2015 and 2017, Morrison was ranked 4th and 5th, respectively, for putouts as a first baseman. Next, Yankees, 2 free agent starters they could still sign providing ample experience at first base. Morrison would be a big help for this season. Both Luke Voit and Greg Bird don't add up to the amount of time Morrison has played. For a relatively cheap contract, why not give Morrison a chance in pinstripes?